Hey guys, it's Megan. So today I thought I would do a very requested video. A lot of you guys are always asking me how I meet celebrities, which I don't think I meet that many, but like I have had the amazing opportunity of meeting quite a few. When I do meet these famous people, I like to post my pictures with them on Twitter and Instagram and all that good stuff, and sometimes I even do experience videos. I've done experience videos for like Shawn Mendes, DNCE, Liam Payne, Niall Horan, etc. There's probably more, I don't know. Some of the pretty well-known artists that I know some of you guys are interested in as well. I like to do experience videos on them just so you can like learn from my experience or just like be entertained from how I meet people. I don't know. I think I mainly do it to like help you guys out though. And every time I post a picture with someone on Instagram like that, a lot of the comments are like, oh my god, you meet everyone, or how do you meet all these people, and blah 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 blah. Like, so that's exactly what this video is gonna be. I'm gonna be giving you my tips, my experiences, and everything like that to help you guys try to meet celebrities as well, because it's really not that hard. You just gotta keep trying and not give up. But before we get into the video, if you have not seen my face before, then make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I post new videos every single Sunday, and sometimes kind of hopefully random videos throughout the week. So if you like videos like this, then make sure to subscribe, and let's get into the video. So I feel like the three main ways to meet your favorite celebrity or any celebrity or whatever is VIP, like their official meet and greet at radio stations or like on the street or random locations, hotel room, stuff like that. So obviously if you have the money and you want to be guaranteed to meet a famous person, then the best thing to do is to buy their VIP. For me personally, I have bought VIPs before, but not very expensive ones. Like I think the most I've paid for a VIP was less than $100. So if it's like an up and coming artist or someone that's like not that famous yet, like before Shawn Mendes blew up, his VIPs were $75, which is like so worth it. $75 to meet him and get a Q&A with him and sound check and stuff is worth it. Like it's totally worth it. So do that if you have the money. Now that he's gotten really big, his meet and greets are like $250, which to me is not worth it. So yes, that's the most obvious advice, but I'm pretty sure that's not what you came here for. So let's get into radio stations, because I know that's a very popular thing nowadays. So if you don't know what I mean by radio stations, lots of artists will go on like a radio tour where they just go to different radio stations and do like a little meet and greet and a little private acoustic performance for just like maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 people depending on how big the artist is. And this is definitely how I've met most of the artists that I've met. Now most of the radio stations I go to are my two main radio stations here in my area, which is Nashville, Tennessee. Obviously that's where I live. But I've traveled to Indianapolis, I've traveled to Atlanta, to other radio stations to meet people there as well. So at this point you're probably like, well, I never win, like there's no point in me even trying to enter, like blah 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 blah, or like maybe you don't even know that they're at your local radio station, or like you're just totally clueless on what's going on. Well, this is where I'm here to help. My first tip is to follow all the radio stations on social media, so like Instagram, Twitter for sure. I have my two local radio stations tweet notifications on, so every time they tweet about a certain artist or band or anything coming to their radio station, I am like, you know, first to know about it. So I have my local radio stations tweet notifications on, and then other radio stations in surrounding cities for me, I just follow them on Twitter and check their tweets every so often. So when it comes to entering radio station contests, a lot of times they do call-ins where you like listen on air and call in at a certain time. Some radio stations also do Twitter contests where you like tweet a certain hashtag or whatever. Those are my favorite because those I feel like are like easier to win, because I'm like never good at calling in and stuff. Sometimes you like text a certain number, and I know for my certain radio stations they do contests in the area where you go to a certain location and like actually fill out a drawing. It's like a drawing contest. I've never in my life won a call-in contest where you have to call in to win. If you have any tips on how to call into radio stations, let me know in the comments down below, because I've always gotten the busy signal, or I've gotten like, oh congrats, you're caller number 44, but we're looking for caller 50. Sorry. Like that's the worst call. Like don't tell me I lost, tell me I won, you know? The most important thing, and you're probably like, this is so dumb, Megan, like I don't believe you, but the most important thing is to stay positive and to never give up, because trust me, like if you keep on trying, you will succeed. Like I'm not just saying that. I used to always think like I was never gonna meet One Direction and all that, and I've met Liam and Niall now. Like I cannot stress to you enough to never give up and to stay positive. Every time with my friend Faith, one of the artists that we always see together besides One Direction is Shawn Mendes, and every time we're together we're like, we will meet Shawn, or we will meet so and so, or when we meet Shawn, you know, like we always stay positive and it's worked every single time. Like, I'm not just saying that. I know from personal experience to stay positive and to never give up. Like, I just can't stress that enough, so I'm gonna keep saying it. So drawing contests, enter for yourself, and also have like a friend or your parents go and enter as well. I know this from experience because whenever Niall came to my local radio station, which I still can't even believe he did, but whenever he came to my local radio station, they did a drawing contest for him where you just put your name on a piece of paper and put it in a box, and then they draw out of the box. I went down and entered, and then I had my dad go and enter as well, and my dad ended up winning. They called him, but then I obviously took the phone and gave them my name. Technically I won, but technically like my dad won, if that makes sense. So have like people go and enter for you as well to help your chances, because it works for me. So if you followed all those steps and you didn't give up and blah blah blah, but you still didn't win the contest, I would highly suggest that you still show up to the radio station. Now, you can't be guaranteed that the station is gonna let you in or that you're even gonna meet the person, because it is still a 50-50 chance, if that makes sense. If you didn't see my meeting Liam experience, me and Kelsey drove to Atlanta, which is 4 hours away from us, and we didn't even win to get into either radio stations that we ended up seeing him at, but we drove anyways and just showed up to the radio station, and they were nice enough to let us into both just because we showed up. And they had a couple extra spots, I guess. However, a ton of people showed up for the Niall meet and greet that was in my city, and they didn't let anyone else in. So like, the only way for you to get into the radio station was if you won your way in. It really just depends on like the person and their team or the radio station or whatever, because sometimes they can let you in and sometimes they won't. And the last tip I have for meeting celebrities at radio stations, if you didn't win your way in, is by getting in contact with the winners. So sometimes radio stations will tweet the winners on Twitter and be like, congrats at so-and-so, you won to meet Niall Horan, you know? Go to that person's Twitter and like just tweet them or DM them or whatever and be like, hey, congrats on winning. I was just wondering what time the radio station event thing was starting. I do this all the time, and every single person has told me the time, because like, why wouldn't they, you know? So say the person's like, oh, like it starts at 12 p.m. So then I would show up at like 11:30 a.m. and try to meet the artists as they're going into the radio station. Also, it's good to be very familiar with your local radio stations and how they work and like where the in and out doors are. So I always stand by the entrance or exit doors, and I've met celebrities as they're going in or out of the radio station, if that makes sense. That's how me and Kelsey knew what time to show up to the radio stations for Liam, because we had DM'd people and asked them what time they started beforehand. And then the last way I have for you to kind of meet your celebrities is just like the random lucky way, by either at hotel rooms, outside the venue, or just like randomly on the street. This really has to do with how good you are at finding info and how like involved and like dedicated you are, or it can just be plain luck. There are definitely a lot of fans out there that just get extremely lucky and just run into Harry Styles while they're going to Panera Bread, and then you see it on Twitter and you're like, what the heck, she's not even following him on Twitter, and then you like go on a whole rant about it, and it's just like, how did she get lucky? And I'm over here like standing them completely, and I'm not even meeting them, and these random people that aren't even fans run into them at Panera Bread, and you're just like, what? It happens, but like, what you gotta do about it? I don't know. The number one way to meet people or know when someone is in your city is by following update accounts. I have some update accounts tweets sent to my phone just so I can get like random updates on the boys. Another good tip is to know what the celebrity's team looks like. Know what their manager, their bodyguards, etc., what they look like. Because I know whenever me and my friend Faith were at Sean's hotel looking for him, we noticed all his team members at a hotel, so we went to that hotel and we saw all of his team members in the lobby, and next thing we know, Sean comes in. So whereas they're not going to be with their team all the time, if you see their team out and about, then you can follow their team, and that will most likely lead you to that celebrity, if that makes sense. So Google what their team members look like, so on and so on, and that could definitely help you to find them at their hotel or on the street or whatever. Now, some fans out there, some crazy fans, can find their hotels that people are staying at and their flight info. Now, I'm pretty good at finding out people's hotels, but I don't know how people find flight info. I do have some friends that sometimes help me with flight info or give me flight info. I am forever grateful for them, but I do not know how to find flight info myself. I hope fans don't just leak someone's flight info on Twitter, because I don't want people to get like mobbed at the airport. But if you have a friend or know someone that can find flight info, I definitely recommend you going to the airport to at least trying to meet them. I know it's not guaranteed to meet them because sometimes they do swerve. I've been swerved by a lot of celebrities at airports, and I don't even want to talk about it. But it is definitely worth the shot to try to go to the airport and meet them. Another tip is searching indirects. So say Sean is in your city, search Sean and then your city's name. So when Sean was in Nashville, I searched Sean Nashville on Twitter and looked for people's tweets, or I searched Sean today and looked through all the tweets, because sometimes random people will see Sean on the street and then tweet about it, which is dumb. Don't do that. Don't give out information away on Twitter. But some people do it, and it can help you find them if someone else already saw him or something. And the last and kind of obvious tip I have for you is to just get a car and just drive around to popular places in your city that you think people are likely to go, if that makes sense. So if you find out your favorite celebrity or any celebrity in general is in your area, go try to find them. Even if you have no earthly idea where they're at, it is still always nice to try and find them. Trust me, you never know who you're gonna meet if you stay positive and never give up. I think that's about all the tips I have for you guys. If you have any other questions that I didn't answer this video, then leave them in the comments down below and I will try my best to respond to them if I know the answer to them or whatever. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if it helped you out in any way, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below for more videos like this. But yes, that's about it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.